Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for taking a few minutes to walk with me through the financial report that we normally give you at our lead conference when we were meeting in person. And first off, before we go any further, let me just say how grateful I am for you guys, grateful I am for all of you men, women, everybody in our family here at the Louisiana Network of the Assemblies of God. Thank you so much for your faithfulness, for your continued faithfulness in giving during these times that we're living in. These uncertain times definitely have stretched us and caused us to rethink the way that we operate. Not just at the network office, but in our local churches as well. It's a really, really important piece. Really can't say enough how appreciative we are of your faithfulness in giving and your faithfulness in supporting the network office. And before we jump into the financial side and the review for the last year, 2019, I wanted to say a couple of things. One, just know that we are praying for you, praying with you, and we're believing this, that even though we have been very unconventional in the ways we've had to meet, in the ways we've had to gather, we believe that God is bringing something amazing out of this season that we're in right now. And we're trusting that sooner rather than later, we're going to be able to gather again. And even though we know there'll probably be some restrictions connected to that, and some ways we'll have to modify our normal gatherings, we'll be fully prepared. We're doing our best as a network office to resource and to help. I hope that you've been able to take advantage of the COVID-19 response page at the top of our website at laaog.org. There's a ton of information on there about how you can get help and other resources that you may need during this time period. I also want you to know that I am more than willing to help in any way I can to walk with you through any financial questions or challenges you may have, any thoughts you have or questions you have about how to handle that in the local church or what resources are available. My email address is den@laaog.org. That's den, D-E-N, at laaog.org. And so thank you so much for being faithful. Thank you for attending and choosing to spend a few minutes with me as we talk about our finances from 2019. And so in your packet, let me tell you this before we get started. I'm going to start something a little bit differently. I'm going to try to come on and upload an update for you regularly on this page, and I'm going to call it the 5-minute financial. And so today's going to be the test run of that. And so here's what I'm doing. I got my phone right here, and I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to set a 5-minute timer on here. And my goal, once we start talking about this, is to be able to give you a good update on where we are financially, and do that in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm about to start the timer right now. So we got 5 minutes, and then we'll be walking into through our financial report. I know that this format doesn't allow you to necessarily ask questions or discuss any of the information given. I want to give you the overview, and then if you have questions, please feel free to email me or ask any of those questions, and I'll respond to you just as quickly as I can and answer those questions as best I can. All right, so here we go, the 5-minute financial, starting right now. So in your packet, if you don't have that in front of you, you might want to get it just so you can look along with me. You have two documents. The first one looks like this. This is our, it doesn't have my head behind it, but it looks like this. It's the financial statements presented to us by Mr. Steve Derwan and his company. That's our financial review officially for the year. And so you can take that, look through it, ask any questions you may have as you want to later. The document I want to focus on is this one. It's we call it the KMR around the office. It's just a document that we've created to try to help make the financial picture easy to understand. And so I want to walk through a couple of lines with you on this document and let you know where we are at the end of 2019 and where we're headed in 2020. Okay, so first couple of things I want to show you. Really, you can look down on this document, and what you'll see now, we've eliminated the previous year and the running balance totals. And so what that means is you're only seeing information for the 2019 year. And so if you look in the column that says income, it's the total income for the all of the departments and the areas listed on the left-hand side of the sheet. You can see there's a transfer income and expense where when we have to move money from one place to the other throughout the various departments. That's the account we use. to bring the money in, to send the money out. And in the expense category is the same thing. It's the total expense for each one of those line items. And when you get to the net column all the way to the right, that gives you the total net profit or loss that we had in that particular area for the year. We had a really good year in 2019. Some things that I'm really excited about. We had a couple of areas that we're really focusing on, or at least we were focusing on in 2020. Understanding that now we're going to see some things change and shift because of the decisions and the situation we're in. And so, but we have put some protocols in place, and we're working through trying to figure out some of the areas where we can conserve and we can cut and we can do our best to utilize the monies that are coming to our network office the way the Lord wants us to, and in the most essential and beneficial way for the kingdom. Okay, so you do see a couple of items over there. If you look across, that will have a negative balance at the end of the year. And I just want you to know our department leaders have worked very, very diligently to work through budgets and to look at cuts in areas where we can just do everything we can to make sure that we are here we're not necessarily here to make money. That's really not the purpose of the church or the network. But what we do want to do is be as efficient as we can be. And so we want to be able to come close to breaking even if we can, or maybe even make a little bit of money that we're going to call opportunity money. We want to build some margin so we can do ministry. That's our goal here at the network office. We want to be able to assist and help. So you can look at those numbers. You can see those, and I'm not going to go through each one of them individually because I think you can do that on your own here. But here's the things I want you to see. And it's right, really the numbers at the bottom of the page are what we're going to be looking at. What we learned, what we've seen in 2019 is that we saw a net gain in our total loan fund amount of $104,835.56. Now that's the LA loan fund at the very bottom of the page. So at the beginning of the year, we had $127,000 roughly in the loan fund. At the end of the year, we've got $232,000 available in the loan fund. Now that's an increase of the $104,000, like I told you just a moment ago, almost $105,000. But the important part of that is those are monies that we have available that we're making available to churches, and if they need to borrow money or be able to engage to do more ministry, we want to be able to help with that. So you can see an increase there. That's a great number, $231,000, almost $250,000 in funds that are available to be loaned out. Now, in addition to that, we have $155,105 that are currently out. That's loans that we've already made in the past that churches are paying on, and they're returning it through our accounts receivable income there. And so if you add those two numbers together, the 231 currently in that account, or as of December 31st of 2019, and you add the 155,000 that we have outstanding in loans now, that means the total value of our loan fund as of December 31st, 2019 was $387,000. Now, if we were gathering live, I would make you respond to that because I do believe in the ability to see and preach financial statements, as my team will tell you. But and that's just exciting right there. We're well on our way to $500,000, and then we're going to be at $1 million and be able to help churches do ministry and other ministries connected to our network. We're going to be able to help them do ministry effectively, and that's just a great situation. My timer just went off, so I didn't make it at all. So 5-minute financial has now become the 5-minute plus financial, because I'm not close to, I'm pretty close to being finished, but I'm not done. So that's our loan fund. I want you to see that. The second thing I wanted you to see is this. It's a number that's not on there. We're modifying this report literally monthly to try to make it easier for everybody to see and read. But I just want you to write this number down if you've got a pen with you. That number is $64,418.98. Now, what that number represents is our net gain in assets throughout the year. And so, as a general rule, what you can know is that that's monies that we spent this year, in 2019, to make improvements, whether they're things we built at the campground, things we've improved in other properties that we own. All of that is a good thing. That's an increase in the value of the assets of the network office of $64,418.98. Okay, so that doesn't show up on an expense report, but that is money that we spent, almost $65,000. But that was in making additions to our campground, doing things to make it better and to add value to what we already have. And then the final number I want you to see today is this one, is I want you to see the net gain in our available funds. And part of the reason that I gave you that asset increase on the front end was so you could see the difference in some of those numbers. You can see, if you look at the left-hand column at the very bottom where it says total eBank, that our beginning balance of January 1st, 2019 is $573,440.45, and our ending balance for the end of the year was $635,823.13. Now that's a net gain in available funds of $62,382.68. Now, I want you to remember on top of that. So that's the monies that's available. We had an increase in the value of our checking account of $62,382 and some change. Now, if you take that and you add in the amount of money we spent on assets, that means that the value just went up. Literally, we profited, and I hate to use the word profit, but we had an increase of the monies that came in of over $125,000 for 2019. So can you just say praise the Lord for that? And I'm just going to believe in faith that you did, because God is helping us to be able to build some margin, to do more things than we've ever done before, and to be able to be a resource and a help to our churches. So the good news is this, and if you look at the very bottom line on that sheet, it just talks about our total financial position, where we were, the total cash that's available through our loan fund, through our general checking account at the beginning of the year, $1,121,298.36. And at the end of the year, $1,270,674.63. So that's literally about $150,000 increase, and not profit, increase in our opportunity to make a difference in this world. So can I just say once again, thank you so much for being faithful. Thank you for trusting us to lead in this way. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this team, this great network lead team here, and to be able to use this opportunity to try to help build some margin so we can do more ministry. The last thing I just want to say is this, man, look, I know because as all of you know at this point, I still lead our local church as well. I know there's been some challenges during this time, and I know that it's been probably the most challenging season of life. And this is one of those situations where we're still, even at this moment, not 100% sure how it's going to play out in the end. But one thing we know is this, that God is with us, and He's been with us the entire time. And I believe with my whole heart, that the things we're learning about all going online is that we can now have an on-ramp for people to engage with the local church and to engage with the Lord that we didn't have before. At least we probably weren't using as efficiently as we should have. At least I can say that for Crossing Place Church. And the second thing I know is this, that out of moments of crisis, trust and peace come if we'll allow them to. And that's one of the things that will attract people to the Lord in these moments. And so I just want to encourage you. Listen, I know it's been hard. I know it's been difficult. I know it's been stressful. I know the decisions, first off, to stop having church, and now the decision we're about to face with beginning to have services again. I know those decisions are difficult, and that because we haven't been in a situation like this before, there's not a pattern to follow. But I want you to remember, first off, that God's with you, but second off, that we're all in this together. I hope that you've taken advantage of some of the network-wide Zooms that Pastor Scott has done. And just, man, if you're an extrovert like me, being able to see people's faces, even when it's on a computer screen, is so incredibly helpful. And so, man, we love you. We believe in what you're doing. Thank you for being a part of the strong and healthy network of Assemblies of God churches here in Louisiana and the Louisiana Network. If you have any questions about anything we shared, any questions about anything that you've seen on the other financial statements or on our summary statement, you can feel free to email me, den@laaog.org, and I'll be happy to try to answer those. Continue in the journey, because in the end, the kingdom is going to grow, and Jesus is going to get the praise and the credit. Love you guys. God bless you. Look forward to actually seeing your face again very, very soon.